It is Thursday, June 30th, and I work from home on Thursdays, so I am taking my lunch to work in the garden a little bit. So you can see it behind me. It's doing pretty good. This afternoon, I am working on this squash bundle. I forget which kind it is. I'll have to find the little label to figure it out. But it is a vining squash, so she'd be all over the place. And we had a whole bunch of her vines growing into our summer squash and zucchini squash plants, which is perfectly fine. I might have cross-pollination, which will be interesting, but I'm gonna try to trellis her up a little bit. So I've put in a few T-posts and some extra wire fencing that we had, and I'm just gonna use some clips and kind of clip her up and about so she can continue to vine, but not vine into the other plants because I felt bad for them. She's also vining that direction, so there's just she's everywhere. So we'll see what we can do. So my phone is dying, so I'm gonna try to be quick about this, but it's my spaghetti squash plant, which irony isn't lost on me. So I've kind of trellised a few of her, dropped a clip, vines up. I'm gonna keep going and try to move some of them this way, but this is also her over here, and they vine out. They have these little vine dudes that kind of cling to things. So I'm gonna try to pull her that direction because I'm not sure which squash these are, but they're getting a little bit smothered and they're fairly small, but I want them to have some chance of survival. I think that these are my acorn squash. Let's find out. These are my butternut squash. So I want them to have a chance. So I'm going to keep moving my spaghetti squash that way and up, and I might have to put another trellis here so that they're a little bit more contained. But here's where we are, and it should be fun. So I don't think I can set you anywhere that's good for you to see, but I'm going to try. Hi, good morning from my office. I am working from home today. I look slightly disheveled because I had a hat on. I'm here with my seed box, trying to figure out what I want to do for the rest of the season. So I'll have a full garden update here soon, hopefully in this video. But there's also some other things that I want to get in the garden before our season ends. So today it is currently July 7th. It's a Thursday. I work from home on Thursdays, so I'm going to do a little bit of planting at lunch. So here is my plan. So in one of the beds, I'll crop in a picture. I planted all of my onions, all of them. I don't think I have any more onion seeds. None of them came out, which is fine. It was an experiment, so I'm not completely sore about it. But none of them came up, so I am going to redig the bed, pull anything up that seems like it's kind of growing out of place. So there's a bunch of grass that started to grow in a little bit because I didn't want to mess with it if onions were going to try to come up. So I'm going to replant that bed. And my hope for that bed is my pumpkins. So I had some pumpkins started, but they sadly died. Oh, I do have more of these. Yay! Okay. Sorry, I just got really excited. So I plan on planting a bunch of different varieties of pumpkin in hopes that they come up here soon. Not soon, but for the fall. So these, let's see, outdoor sown in June. So some of these I can plant now, and it's 120 days to harvest. So that would put me right in fall, which would be great. So I have some Big Max pumpkins. These will get pretty big, so I'm hoping that that will be fun. These ones were ones that I started, and I didn't think I had any more left of, but I do, and these are the Atlantic Giant pumpkins from M.I. Gardener. I have a few more of these seeds, so I'm definitely going to do some of these. These are also 120 days to maturity, but I think I can put them in now, and it should be good to go. We're right at germination temperature, which is great. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of those in. I have a few more Cinderella pumpkin seeds from My Gardener. These are 110 days to maturity, so I'm definitely gonna put these in. These are really, really pretty. I'm excited for those. And then I've got some baby pumpkins. I've got some Jack B. Littles. This is an old seed pack, so I don't know if these are gonna come to fruition or not, but they're tiny little ones, more decorative. And then I've got some baby bear pumpkins, which should germinate in a few weeks if they're going to. Again, the seed pack was opened, so it got kind of X'd out, and my husband grabbed it. So these mature in 105 days, so these will be early a little quicker. And then last year I had some pumpkins that I really, really liked from the pumpkin patch, so I saved seeds. So I figured out how to do that, and I saved some seeds. So we're gonna grow these. These were like green, like pimply looking pumpkins. I have no idea the variety, but I'm gonna put a few of these in also. So that whole bed is going to be pumpkins, and I'm super excited about it. Other things that I would like to do, hopefully, I'm gonna plant a few more herbs in with my tomatoes, and I need to prune my tomato plants a little bit. So I'm going to do that. This is the little bin of herbs. I also planted some carrots that I filmed, and only some of them started coming out. These seed packets are older, I think. Yeah, they're packed for 2021. So they weren't new seed packets, and I knew that they might not all come up, but I'm gonna plant a few more carrot seeds in the bed just to hopefully get a few more started. I'll show you what's currently there. It's not a lot. So I'm gonna do that. Then I had also old seeds, so we'll see if they come out. Some little sugar baby watermelons. I can't eat a watermelon. I'm actually allergic to it, but my husband really likes them, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant a few. The soil temperature should be warm enough now to actually put these in, so I'm gonna plant some of these somewhere. We'll find a good spot for them to vine all over the place. I have lots more green seeds, so I'm gonna plant a little bit more of the black seeded Simpson lettuce, because we'll eat a lot of it. Like I said, I have multiple packets of this, so I'm gonna plant some more greens because we will eat it. We have been eating it. I'm also going to try to find a place for some more asparagus. I had this Mary Washington asparagus. These take years to mature, so if I put them in now, it'll be a few years till we get anything, but I'm gonna find a good spot for them, and I'm gonna put them in the ground so that we hopefully get asparagus at some point soon. And last but not least, I have some lavender that I'm gonna try to find a pot for in my garage and put it in a pot. It's container friendly. It should harvest within 90 days. It needs full sun. So something easy, something pretty, something to bring pollinators. So I'm definitely gonna do that as well, hopefully today. So I've got some plans of things I'm gonna put in. So I'm definitely gonna film that this afternoon, and then hopefully do a full garden tour, if not with this video, then as a separate video, because the garden is looking spectacular and I'm super excited to show you. We have things. I'm harvesting things, mostly greens, that are starting to try to bolt. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do there. I'm going to plant another round of greens, like I said, so that should help. But yeah, so that's our plan for this afternoon, and we'll get planting here soon. See you soon. Bye. Today, I'm going to do a quick summer beginning garden tour because things are getting big and I want to show them to you. So let's get started. Here she is in all her glory. We are starting to be full. So there's still a bunch of places that I don't have anything planted, so I'm going to plant things here soon, and I'll explain that as I go through. But let's take a look. That is way too close. Okay, so this is our greens section. As you can see, they are doing spectacular. I've got some romaine and buttercrisp lettuce. This was a Great Lakes lettuce, this row that doesn't have anything in it. That didn't come up, but that was an old seed packet, so that's fine. I've got some iceberg and some kale. The kale is coming in very, very thick and wonderful. I have some spinach that I planted a little bit late, which is great because that means it's not bolting. So it's still in great shape, and we're eating it in lots of salads. We're also eating lots of the other things. That's why these look a little bit mangled, because we've been pulling off chunks to eat. I've got a bunch of chard. So this was 3 different varieties of chard. I've got some rainbow, some red, some orange, and some green. So there's lots of beautiful colors in here. I'm super excited about how it's going. So super excited about that. My basil is a little bit stuck underneath because my chard went big, but it is doing well. I'm going to plant a little bit more basil up by the tomatoes because they pair well together. So I'm going to do that. But I have some here. I also have some sage, and then my dill, which is very tall. It is probably up to my hip. I'm not very tall, but it is doing wonderfully. I had some oregano planted out here and some chive. They didn't really do well. That's fine. I have some oregano inside. That's what was supposed to be here, but it's not. I planted a second round of radishes. We'll see how they come out. I still have a bunch in the fridge. And these are the pepper plants. So you might remember that I had to replant all of my peppers because they sadly all died in a snap frost. But that's okay. So some of these are from seed, and some of these I grabbed little pots of at the local hardware store. And so I do have some growth on these, which is great. So I've got some banana peppers coming through. At least they're growing. I have some flowers here and there. My bell peppers are looking kind of sad. It takes a while for these to get going, and it doesn't stay very hot here for very long. So we'll just see how they go. I might have to move them inside. But here are all of our peppers. I have a bunch of marigolds on the ends of the beds. I planted some calendula in these pots. They're doing a little bit sad just because of the watering situation. These pots don't hold their dampness really well, so they're sad. I have more pots that I'll show you. And then let me zoom out a little bit. This is the squash bed and cucumbers on the end. So I have 4 different varieties of squash that I have started to harvest. I need to pull a few of these leaves because they're looking kind of ouchy. I'm not sure why they're doing that, but a little bit crunch. But these are my zucchinis. I have one kind of hidden down there. I don't know if you can see them. So I have regular zucchinis in this one. Then I have summer squash, which are your common yellow ones. A lot of people don't like to plant these because they're big and in the way and you don't get a lot, but I still like them. So I've got a whole bunch of flowers on here. You can actually pollinate these yourselves if you pull the male flowers and smoosh them in with the female flowers on the ends of the little squashes. So I have those two. Then the other day I trellised up my spaghetti squash because it was taking over. It is a vining squash, so it is doing that. I don't have a lot of them going, but I have this one, so I'm happy that some of them are actually becoming little squashes. I have a few up there that I can pollinate. And so how you would do that actually is, oh, there's a little bug in this one. Oh, you can't see him. There's little bugs in this one. So you take these male flowers, which are these ones, and you take that little fuzzy dude in the middle, and these are the female flowers. They're normally on the little squash, and they look like this. And I'm going to try to hold my camera and do this, but you take the center and all of the pollen that's in here, and you just smoosh it around on the female flower. Let's see if we can do it with one hand. And so hopefully this one will pollinate and we'll come back and see. And then you can do it with other ones too. They're pretty cool that way. Let's grab another one. So this one I kind of tore the things off of, and you just, I always make sound effects when I do it. My husband calls it sexy timing the plants, which it kind of is. And then, sorry, got distracted. This is some butternut squash. We are not flowering yet, but we are getting there, it looks like. So we'll have some butternut squash as well. And then I have three different types of cucumber. I have a few little plants that I planted from seeds. These are pickling cucumbers. This big one is a lemon cucumber that I started from a little container from the store. This is also a pickling cucumber that I started from the store. These are about to vine, and more pickling cucumbers around. This was the bed that was onions. It's kind of grown over by grass because none of the onions came up and I kind of lost track, but I'm gonna put pumpkins here very soon. These are our tomatoes. They are getting big, which is great. Let me zoom you out. I tried to trellis them a little bit because they were falling over from the wind. So I've got some Romas. These few are like a big beef cutting tomato, and then the rest are cherry tomato varieties. So they are starting to have tomatoes on them. So my Romas are doing pretty good. Nothing is red yet. I've got another one back in there. But they are flowering. They are happy. I'm gonna do a little bit of basil on this side where it gets more sun in the morning, just to have extras. I've got a few pots of potatoes. These ones I actually got from a garden store. They're just white potatoes. And then these are some russet potatoes that we left in the house too long, and they had eyes, and so I just stuck them in a pot. So we're gonna see how that works out. In this bed, we have cauliflower. These are our carrots. There's only a few, so these are the carrots. There's only a few that came up. I am going to add a few more seeds to this area and hope to get more because I love carrots. Let me do some weeding while I'm here. So I'm going to add a few more and hopefully get a few more. Our eggplant decided it didn't want to really do much. There's a few plants there. I'm not sure if they're grass or actually eggplant, so I'm going to have to check. Our icicle radish, about half came out. I'll plant a few more. This is turnip. I'm excited for them. And our parsnip hasn't really popped its head out yet. Again, those were old seeds, so it's not surprising, but sad. So we'll try to put in some more and see how it goes. Let's step through. Cabbages are doing great. They are starting to head, which means they're just starting to bunch up really well. I've got a few critters that started to eat, so I've been spraying them with neem oil to help some of the bugs stay away. But it is what it is. I might have enough to share. We'll see. I've got my beans. There's two varieties here. They are starting to get big and tall. I'm going to trellis them this week. I've also got some varieties of peas. There's two varieties. I don't know if you can tell the difference. These ones are getting real tall. These ones are not. So I'm going to trellis these also this week. There's nothing here. This is broccoli. That should be heading pretty soon. It's been cooler the last few days, so I'm surprised it hasn't yet, but it's a cooler temperature plant, so it likes to be a little bit cooler, so hopefully it'll head soon. But yeah, so that's where we're at. It's doing great. I'm super excited that it's starting to look like a garden. I've got a few pots over there with flowers that haven't really done much. I'm going to add a few more in. Like I said, I'm going to plant some pumpkins here. I think I'm going to pull this up and do, I think, watermelon over here. We're going to see, and maybe some other pumpkins, although I don't want them to cross-pollinate because that'd be a little weird. I'm going to put more carrots in, more herbs over by the tomatoes, like I said, and we're just going to keep on keeping on and hopefully keep the garden going for as long as we can. So thanks for joining me for the update, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and happy gardening. Bye.